Wake up, wake up, it's time to rise and sing the praise of Jesus. Hallelujah, hallelujah. It's time to rise, to sing, to shout, to bring him all your heart. He'll do the bigger part if you will only make a start.
Have a great day, everyone. Welcome to the 4th Quarantine Vespers service that we will have. Again, this is the Jervin Eagle Religious Literary Inspirational Productions under the Worship at the Doorstep program. This very evening, your humble speaker, Rose Gonzaga Jr., will bring to you a message entitled Angels in Unexpected Forms. Our text for consideration is found in Luke 4 verse 10, and it says, "For it is written, He will command His angels concerning you to guard you carefully." Brothers and sisters, have you ever had the chance to see a real angel in your life up to this moment? Well, I know we will be in chorus to say that we haven't seen yet, especially if we are looking for ones that resembles the angels in the Bible stories. These are, of course, the cherubims and the seraphims. That is because we grow up knowing that angels only appear with wings and with whitish complexions and an all-around white clothing. However, I will tell you how I meet two angels in my life, and they appeared to me in a very unexpected appearance. May 28, 2001, this is the first encounter that I have with an angel. I rushed to Iloilo City to catch the last day of filing for the licensure examinations for teachers. I was so lucky that the last trip of Wisdom Express, a ferry connecting Bacolod to Iloilo, has still 3 seats left, so I grabbed one. Arriving at Iloilo late, I secured myself in a casual inn and then waited for daybreak. At 6 a.m., I proceeded to the Professional Regulation Commission's office, and I was amazed that the line is already reaching the other end of Haro Plaza, so you can just imagine about 3 kilometers of line. To make the long story short, I tried to survive that very long line. Noontime came, and then a music major board exam aspirant approached me and said, "Are you done with lunch? I can guard your place, and when you come back, you can guard mine." Left without any option, I consented, and I was able to nab a quick lunch. And when I came back to the line, I let the person eat his own lunch. He left then? Well, I can give a little description of that person. To make the long description short, he is a gay, but one that has not yet freed himself from the closet. When he was back, he fall in line again, and 6 p.m. arrived, and we are still almost 500 persons away from the door of PRC. Then PRC already declared that it will close, and we were given numbers to return tomorrow. Catastrophic, but the number that I received is 452, and the day after that day is already the last day of filing. Now I can say, tomorrow I need a miracle to beat the deadline. This friend then asked me to stay a night with his family's house just at the back of the street leading to PRC. So I asked if they have a landline phone there, and he said yes. Then I decided to take my luck to this friend's home so that I can call my parents for additional cash due to necessity. It should be known then that I brought only enough money for one day to file. That is my fault. I did not bring an extra money. When we reached their house, we were prepared dinner by his mother. Moments after dinner, that friend asked me to have a stroll, a walk to settle our stomach. So we went to the street leading to PRC, and we were both amazed that PRC opened for 2 hours that night. So we hurried to get our papers, and it only took us 15 minutes to finish filing. Imagine from 452 to 15 minutes of filing that miraculous night when PRC opened for 2 hours. After which, we went home to that friend's house, and I was given the sala or the living room for the night. The next morning, at around 8 a.m., my mom called and informed me that I have already the money for additional expenditure at my ATM. So I asked permission from the family that I will already leave for Bacolod. Well, due to that sincere, well-respected, and professional treatment that I received from a gay, my impressions and personal beliefs regarding them, especially the LGBT family, changed, that I have so much respect for them already. 5 months later, the Professional Regulations Commission released the licensure examination for teachers result, and I am happy to be one of the passers. So I went to Iloilo to have my oath. Oath-taking during that time is really a great experience because you will go to the place where you filed. So I took my oath there, and at the same time, I want to go there to express my thankfulness and gratitude to that person who lent me a place in their home for a night. I glance again at the newspaper, and I haven't seen the name of that friend in the list of passers. I was so sad, but it did not let me stop there. I proceeded to the school where he studied music. It was a well-known school in Iloilo City. When I reached the registrar's office, I gave the name, and the office assistant scanned for this in their files. I told the assistant I cannot imagine why that friend did not pass the board exam. Moments later, the assistant told me there is no such name here that resembled the one you listed. Then I thought for a moment, this is impossible. So the next venue I proceeded to is the house where I slept that night. Yes, the gate was there, and I asked the person inside, is there a person with this name staying here? The house owner said, we have been staying here for 4 years now, but there is no name of this kind staying here. I tried to describe the trait of the person, including the feminine ways that he has, but there was really no identification on the part of the persons in that residence. Before I left, I asked them, may I know your complete phone number so that I can compare it if this is the instructed house I am approaching? So they recited the phone number, and I was just all shocked, and I marveled. It was the identical phone number that registered in my cellular phone that I contacted my mother here in Bacolod. The phone at the sala where I slept, I can see from the doorstep afar, is the same phone that I used that night when I called my parents at Bacolod. Many questions wrapped up in my mind, but one thing I settled for was that this was a miracle from God, and God Himself engineered. I almost missed the deadline, but He gave me a free night walk to file. I almost starved and left in cold due to the lack of extra money for another night at Iloilo. But He gave me a friend to share His house for a night. He let me associate with a gay friend. In short, a time I stayed and dined with them, and by then I was able to understand the sentiments and inner glow of the LGBT family. But the most special of all of this is that God sent an angel in the most unlikeliest form to help me finish my obligations to file for the coming licensure examination for teachers. That angel I will never forget, will forever be a monumental recognition that God will never leave His people in the dark, especially if we will be faithful and loyal to Him. Just like you, dear brothers and sisters, I thought before angels only appear in white clothes and wings at their back. But because of this experience, I now realize that anyone and even everything can resemble the angel of God, especially in the necessities of the times. Thus, it is not very ideal that we condemn or judge or belittle anyone in our community or in our immediate society because we know they might be angels that are being sent by God to protect us, to guide us, and even to examine our faith in various times and reasons. Often, we always have discriminative minds when we deal with poor people, especially beggars, street children, homeless individuals. What if they are the angels that God has sent, but they mask these elements of the society? Let me end our Vesper service with another encounter that I have with God in an angel in a human form. I was in my second year of teaching at Negros Mission Academy. That is 2002, when I brought my second year Peacock section to San Enrique Negros Occidental. We hired a jeepney together with that is the driver of the said vehicle. We have our Christmas section caroling in that area. That is a very, very nice experience to recall. After a couple of hours, we already decided to go home to Bacolod. While on our way, we met a very bad weather condition, maybe a storm exiting Valladolid town, entering Bago City. The wind was so strong that our vehicle wiggled, and that created so much fear for me, having accountability of 14 second-year students' lives. I tried my best to be as stable as possible. Now, my students are already worried, and I asked them to call their parents one by one using my phone to assure them that we are okay and on a safe journey home. Everybody has informed or had informed their parents, with 8 of them calling from my personal cellular phone. Weather caused the delay and we arrived Bacolod braving the storm winds at around 11:30 p.m. From there on, I gave instructions to the driver to drop the students here, there, or in the immediate places where they are staying. When I was alone with the driver, I told him, "Sir, it has been a night. I do not have an extra cash with me, but I want to pay you more because you really gave a great hand with my student. Without your careful driving and fatherly decisions, I may have scrambled along the way. I remembered I was only 21 years old then and on my second year as a neophyte educator. We went home, and the next day, I really wanted to reward the driver, so I tried to get some cash and place it in an envelope as a sign of gratitude. I inquired for the whereabouts of the jeepney, and luckily I found the house of the operator. I can confirm the jeepney conduction sticker number, so I went in to ask who drove the vehicle last night, and then the owner said that was the first time the driver rented his jeepney. The next day, the driver did not show up already, and then we cannot also reach the driver through his personal mobile number. So brothers and sisters, for 3 consecutive days, I monitored, and there was really no person of that identity that rented the jeepney again. I can remember that night when I told the driver, "Manong, kabudlay gali mag-teacher," translated in English as, "It's very hard to be a teacher." And the driver said, "I once was a teacher, and I know what you feel. That's why I never leave you in that situation." Those were his last lines before the point that we cannot locate anymore and traced him for accolades and gratitudes. By the way, before I forget, when the students used my cell phone that night to call their parents, I can always recall with all honesty that I do not have a load. Today, I consider that person a God-sent angel, I'm talking about the driver, in the form of a jeepney driver. Yes, he gave me strength when I am fearing a lot for the life of my students. He gave me a single-liner advice that mattered a lot during those times of weather disturbances. God was really great to send an accurate need, an accurate angel in that very trying time. Today, the greatest lesson I always learn in life is to treat every person a possible angel rather than a possible source of hatred. Yes, I am not talking to strangers, but I am not also judging strangers because who knows, they might be God's angel in a very unexpected form. Ezekiel 23:20 says, "I am sending an angel ahead of you to guard you along the way and to bring you to the place I have prepared." God is always one step ahead, and He is always in control. The only reason for fear in these times is when we will forget that God has sent His angels in the past. He will surely send them again when we need them anytime. The message today is, angels can be around us in the same manner that God is always looking after us. May God be with us as we continue to live in faith, and may we have the chance to meet His angels in the most unexpected forms. Brothers and sisters, God bless us as we continue to stay in quarantine and we continue to serve Him through these technological devices. Happy Sabbath, everyone.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. It's time to rise and sing the praise of Jesus. Hallelujah, hallelujah. It's time to rise, to sing, to shout, to bring Him all your heart. He'll do the